days before they discharged me with a diagnosis of psychogenic non-epileptic seizures. So, I began to feel increasingly nervous as I sat there and sitting right outside of the nurse's station, hearing them talk about something that had happened, where somebody was brought in and for psychological challenges, and one of the nurses had asked the other why they were brought in, and he answered, oh, probably for attention, and chuckled. Now, initially, I don't know, I guess I'm trying not to get too judgmental because I don't know what his situation was, and, you know, when you don't understand something, I sympathize, and I hope that somebody takes the time to express to him that it's not a sensitive way of handling something like that, because that's a real person. And truly, even if it was for attention, there are such things as cries for help. So, if somebody's trying to get your attention, give them your attention. Please. There's something that needs to be addressed if somebody is doing that for attention. So, a little bit of a tangent. As I sat there and I heard them talk about this situation, I realized that I might not be in the best situation being at the hospital in the emergency room all by myself with pretty much nobody there to advocate for me. And that really made me nervous. So luckily, one of my guardian angels, she's amazing, she had offered to come down, and at first I said, no, don't worry about it. This is when I was driving in. And after hearing this conversation, I immediately texted her that I think I need an advocate because I don't know if I'm going to have a seizure, and if I do, I don't feel safe. Essentially, I don't feel safe. It wasn't being taken seriously. And it's a serious thing. So it made me realize that we really don't have any advocates. As far as psychological challenges go, you get to a hospital, and now here's my little thing. I recognize that at hospitals, it's medical. That's why people go there when they are feeling sick, not when they are feeling unbalanced or, having rampant thoughts, or rapid thoughts, rampant too, I guess. That's not the place that you generally go to. And what I came to think about later is that where I was seeing a lack of sensitivity towards people that are in there, they really are not equipped for something like that. Last week, my daughter had to have a surgery, and in the children's hospital, they're amazing. They're absolutely amazing. As we were checking in, and we got after the surgery, actually, and we were being brought up to the room, I was telling the charge nurse that my daughter was really anxious and really scared about what had just happened. She was feeling physically better, but as far as the stress of it goes, and she asked me if I would like to have a social worker or a mental health professional come up to speak with her. Now, I could have dropped on the floor when I heard that. I was so happy to have heard that, and it really made me curious why adults don't get that same treatment. I mean, we are in just as much need as children. I mean, it's you don't get as much attention as children do when they are adults. When you're an adult, you're basically on your own. And when you do have psychological challenges, such as PNES, or my situation, bipolar, or ADD, you don't get a lot of sympathy. And I don't need sympathy. I'm very well adjusted and adapted to the lifestyle that I need to maintain, or keep the framework of, in order to live a successful day to day. And I'm very aware of my needs. So I consider myself very fortunate, because the journey that I've been on since I was, let's say, like 12, 13 years old, once I hit about 18, I started with a lot of psychotherapy. So basically talk therapy. And I was able to work out a lot of the things before I even got to the PNES, which shocking. It was shocking to me. I thought that I had dealt with so many of the toxic elements in my life, and I didn't even realize that they were actually all around me. I kept a special select few that I love, and and I didn't want to keep out of my life. When I saw how much it affected me, then I didn't have a choice. I have to choose myself. And in every situation, I will always choose myself. So it was a real interesting situation at that point. And I am very, very, very fortunate, because on the other end of the PNES, it's been a while since my last seizure. It's, I don't know, a month, I think. And basically, essentially, I had one seizure, one big grand mal seizure, and maybe two. And then the ones that follow, I kind of relate to as the grand mal seizure being like the earthquake, and the seizures after that being like the aftershocks, because it really is like my body is still vibrating from it, and it's a little bit of a cycle. I don't know if anyone else has that, but that's my experience. And that's why I'm sharing it, because if you do have it, you're not alone. And if you are somebody who's trying to learn about psychogenic non-epileptic seizures, you can refer to as PNES for your own sanity. Or how I like to refer to it is my penis. I'm going to blush now. Kudos to you to find out. And if you're watching this and you have this, you're not alone. I want to share my story, and if you feel comfortable, we're at a very amazing time right now. We have such a great opportunity, because this past, let me see, today is Monday. This past weekend on Saturday, there was the first conference of psychogenic non-epileptic seizures up in New Jersey. Now I'm going to look on YouTube and see if they streamed any of that information, but they had a clinic that specializes in seizures, epileptic and non-epileptic, present, and they had several people from that clinic present. So I'm excited. I'm going to check that out this weekend. I'm going to check that out sometime this week to find out if there was. So, wow, major tangent there. Oh, back to the hospital. My friend did come. I didn't have any seizures. I realized that there really is a need to be able to request an advocate, a mental health advocate, for every level, not just children, but adults. Unfortunately, once we get to a certain age and we have not been diagnosed, or we have not been able to stabilize our medications or our moods, we're looked at so differently than children. Children are just annoying. Adults are oh my gosh, like we just become like this incredible bother to society. And it's almost as though we're treated as though it's intentional. And good Lord, I don't know anyone who chooses. I mean, I wouldn't change anything because I really love who I am, and I love all the gifts that come with all my challenges. And that in itself, I love challenges. So, all that being said, I think that if you feel comfortable sharing your story, it would be a great thing. There are so many people out there. There are a lot of different people who post on YouTube. If we could come together and put videos together in one YouTube channel, that would be amazing, because there is strength in numbers. That there just is. And now that there is some awareness about it that has been generated, thank you. Oh gosh, this, I don't know. I'm sure other people have the memory issue after this seizures. Um, to you, Dr. I think it's Lerna, for bringing out this awareness, for pushing for the conference, and thank you for your book. I have not had a chance to read it, but just the fact that it's out there and it's available to people who are looking for answers. It's called Psychogenic Non-Epileptic Seizures, a Guide. So if you need a book, if you need some information, you can go to the website. I will actually put onto the site, onto my channel, the link, so that you can get more information. And I think that was my last tangent. I don't know, I'm grateful for everyone who's watching, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to share my story. I encourage you, if you do feel comfortable, please share your story. And if there is interest to put together one YouTube channel for psychogenic non-epileptic seizures, the what are we? The experience, the person with the experience